How you going? Gary here from Platform 1 MRC. Glad you could join me again. I know it's been some time since the last video, so today we're just going to talk about a few little changes I've made to the layout. Before I get onto that, we'll just talk about wiring. Now, I didn't film a lot of the wiring itself. It's pretty straightforward, and I think everyone knows how to add dropper wires, bus wires to their layouts. But between modules, I use a double-ended plug. And what I mean by double-ended, it's a male female on each end, which I cut in half. Here's a photo of what I mean. Now these plugs can be used cut in half and then solder your red blacks to your bus wires under the layout, enabling enough room there to have them hang freely so they can be connected. Now I did drill a couple of holes through the baseboards where I can feed the wires through, and I drilled them wide enough that the plug actually passes through the hole in the baseboard frame to each module, as you can see in this photograph here now. With all the dropper wires, I do not choose to use clips or connectors. I prefer just to strip the sheath back of the bus wire and solder the droppers direct to that. Now, some say, well, what happens if you need to pull the layout down or pull the wiring apart? Well, it's just simply a matter of heating up the soldering iron again and softening off that solder, pulling the wire out. Nothing too difficult at all. So what I find with this method is it is quite simple, quite easy, keeps it all neat and tidy under the layout, as you can see with this photograph. This next photograph shows how I keep the bus wires tensioned. It is quite a simple method by using a couple of hooks at the end of your baseboard frames on each module, and your bus wire is simply folded over into a double figure eight with a loop on one end and cable tied tight. Now between the loop in the end of the wire and the hook that screwed into your baseboard, you simply just add another cable tie to that, and you can actually use the cable tie as a crank to pull the wiring nice and tight, as you can see in this photograph. That pretty much sums up the wiring underneath. You can see everything, in this photograph now, how the plugs are arranged to each individual baseboard, so I get power between every module. Speaking with a few of the members on the various Facebook groups I'm in, and also Platform 1 MRC, the forum, I was asked, where do you store your trains? Do you have a fiddle road, storage yards, or anything like that? I originally intended just to run end to end, but when I thought about it, I thought, well, storage yard or fiddle yard would be a benefit. That way I'm not running the same train in and out from destination to destination, you could say. So as you can see here in this photograph, I have cut the curve up here, added 1 point, 2 point, and made 1, 2, 3 fiddle yard roads here. Now, I think the smallest length here, which is the far one here, is around about 770 millimeters long. The two other roads, this one here is the longest, which is I think around just over a meter, and the middle road here is around about the 850 millimeters long. So it enables me to excuse me, It enables me to, you know, tie up 4 wagons or so, 4 decent sized wagons, 50, 60 footers on the inner road, 4 on the middle road. I can fit 5, and on this outer road here I can fit 5, maybe 6. Just depends on the size of the wagons. But what that does is enables me to, you know, use this bit of road here back around the bend to the main line, or well, it's not a main line really, and just to shuffle the cars in and out of here as need be for the different industries. I don't have a runaround road at the opposite end, which I'll show you now. As you can see, it's just a dead end siding. Now, how am I going to split the different scenes from left and right here? If you recall on the original plan, this was going to be a single road down through here with hard concrete layback here and industries. Through the middle here where my hand is was going to be a centre divider around about, you know, 5 to 6 inches tall, which separated the two sides. I have been working on a few buildings, namely a building between the centre here, one on the outside of the radius, and one just a bit further up here, which I'll show you now. Okay, this is the third building of the 3 for this module that I've built. Still needs a few more details added, you know, on top of the roof here, you know, a few exhaust fans, vents and all that. But as you can see, it actually fits on the outside of the radius here quite nicely. There is enough room there for 60-foot cars to roll past, and I actually use my longest tanker as a guide. Excuse me again. Well, the tanker I've got is the longest wagon, and I use that as a guide just to make sure I've got clearance between things as they're landing here and what have you. All of my buildings have been constructed out of 3mm cardboard, of all things. I find it sturdy to work with. It is a little bit tougher to cut, but if you go easy, it can be done. There's a few little tips and tricks for making sure that you get all your openings, your apertures around your windows and doorways nice and square. You can follow a thread on Platform 1 MRC on how I constructed these buildings. It's under the label of sunshine, palm trees and a food industry, and you'll find all the construction tips. This here is the second out of the 3 series of buildings I've built. Again, same techniques have been used, 3mm card. Everything was measured out onto the baseboard first, and then constructed from there. Again, you can follow this on Platform 1 MRC. All of my buildings, I've taken a few tips from Boomer dioramas by adding such things as the scratch built vent there, you know, say the light box, conduit, electrical boxes, plumbing and what have you. Now all of my buildings are hand painted, and all the weathering effects are done by dry brush. This one actually sits right here in between these 2 tracks here that I showed you before, and it breaks up the 2 scenes between each area here. Now I'll just pick that up and turn it around and position it where it should go. Okay, here we are from the other side of the baseboard module. You can see here you got that nice curvature on there, how it follows the track. Now I'm going to bring the yellow and red building into position, and what I'm hoping to achieve having that in there is that Miami Canyon look, where the trains come in and run through the valley of buildings. I will show you a still from a little bit further back with a couple of wagons sitting there, so you can see what you can imagine what it's going to look like when it's completed. And this is the first building I constructed. I do apologise for the light not being the best in this room. During our storms in Sydney, I had water come through the ceiling of this roof, and I'm still waiting for repairs. 9 weeks now. Anyway, that's another story. This building here can be viewed on platform1mrc.com under that same thread, sunshine, palm trees and a food industry. And again, just like the other two buildings, it has been constructed out of 3mm card. All the conduits, pipes that you see over this side, another little one of those little tips from Boomer Dioramas. Awning over the top here is evergreen styrene, sorry, corrugated sheet, trimmed off with various shapes and angles. So that's the 3 buildings. I am starting on the build of a 4th building which sits behind me towards the small end peninsula of the layout. And then I'll start working on the one over off near the containers there. So that'll be another industry there, whether it be a paper mill or something like that, I haven't really decided. I haven't shown you the other length of track that I've put into position, so I'm just going to move the camera and show you that, and I'll let you know what that siding will be for. So here we are, back over to the original corner where we started from, showing the additional siding I put into place. Now, further around past those tank cars, that piece of track there lines up with the siding that goes off to the cardboard packaging plant on the original Miami shelf layout. This will strictly be used for the storage of tank cars. In through here, that one's just derailed, that's why it's not rolling properly. I should be able to get, you know, like 4, 5 tank cars in this siding. Most of the time I'll probably only have like 3 stored in there. Now I took the idea of this off one of the sidings that runs off the downtown line in Miami, and I'll post up a photo of that. As you can see on the photograph, it's reasonably detailed with fences and gates and scrub and what have you around it, and all this foreground area in through here will be pretty much either, you know, bitumen hardstand or just you know, a lot of bitumen hardstand around this area, I should say. Further up towards the building over this back corner here, I'll just pan around. Oops, sorry about the creaking. So this area over here will be more grass and weeds and what have you. So that's where we're at. That'll be in the next update too, how far I've travelled with that, as well as an update on the construction of the buildings. Anyway, that's about it for now. Take care, stay safe, keep on modelling, and I'll see you soon. Cheers, Gary.